Alrighty, YouTube and folks listening in on my Instagram page. So this is a barn find. Pretty much found it in a barn. The gentleman that I bought this from, really cool gentleman in Central California, or Central Coast California. Sorry, messing up here. Super cool bike. You know, as many of you've seen the Stumpjumper logo, and you've seen the kind of translucentness of carbon. So this is an epic edition. So what this is something really, really special, actually. So for a short amount of time when Specialized was messing with carbon, and I don't know the date code on this, so I'll have to bring it in a later clip, but this is one of the first carbon bikes, or carbon mountain bikes, ever thought of or created. Super cool. Super excited to be working on this. It came with full Shimano Dior XT. I don't know if this group is original to it, because it has SLR front brakes, and then SLR brakes, and then it has regular canties in the back. So, you know, it could be that that's the way this was ordered. See, as you can see here, even on my purple S-Works, that little cable hanger. Like I was saying, they came with a Diacom one. This is pretty spec, except obviously this GT C-post clamp doesn't belong here. I don't think they came with one of these C-posts. It should have been Specialized branded. Zoom stem, I don't know. There's a couple things that I'm just not too familiar with, but what's super interesting is the tires, actually. So they say tubeless. I don't know if they're older or not. I can't tell. I don't know. Oh. Rockster tubeless 2.1. I don't know. So this may have been the first tubeless tire setup. If someone could tell me in the comments like what this is, you know, that'd be great. But yeah, super amazing build. XT cranks. Everything spins on here, and you could just hear it, and there's no gunkiness to this. This wasn't stored correctly, because there's some like surface rust, I want to say, in between the lugs, but nothing to be concerned about. I already gave it a pretty good once over. I flipped the bike around. I checked the lugs, because this is lugged. So this is carbon tubing, lugged to steel and chromoly. So very, very unique bike. I don't even think I need to take anything apart. As you can see here, everything just works. Like the shifters are free, everything's free. Usually these rear shifters on the internal, on the pivot bolt right here, they're gunked up, but no, nothing's gunked up. Obviously the chain is, a lot of people, they use motor oil or something crazy to lube up the chain. That's fine. Look at this bio paste. Like, the chain rings are in amazing condition. Look at the sticker. Jeez, look at that. Anyways, yep, XT pedals. Like, this thing is a barn find. The only thing I put on here was this bottle cage, because I took it off for a test ride. I don't know about this Brooks saddle. There's a couple things like the Cephros, whatever. These grips don't belong here, so I'm assuming they might have done a different setup at one point in time. But yeah, so this is going to be a great build. Yeah, even the rim, right here, the rim face, hardly feels used. Like, there's a little curvature of like braking surfaces, but I don't feel any like gouges or anything. So it was used properly for a little while, but I will say that it just wasn't stored correctly. But no major rust spots, and you could just see that carbon gleaming right here. Here's just clear coat coming off, so that does suck. But yeah, no, I'm super stoked for this build and for this bike. So let's get to it. Something else I wanted to point out that's super peculiar, and I don't know if they did that back in the day. There's no cable housings. Like, if you notice here, like, there's no cable cable stop housings, if that makes sense. So let me see if I could find one on this. Okay, see this little metal piece that actually stops the cable from touching. It's like a little housing that touches the cable to actually go in there. See, because usually this happens where like the plastic pulls, or the metal pulls through the plastic, or the outside protective coat. But if you look right here, there's no housings. There's no housings. And these brakes work like great. I could squeeze them all day. Amazing stopping power. So just another quick observation or build observation that I did. So yeah, super strange build process back in the day. Alright, so first things first, I literally just pulled this cable out of here just to loosen that. I am gonna replace this cable housing just because it's pretty much coming apart. One key observation is that this thing still has its torque disc. So what this is that it protects the chain from going too far into there, or into the space between the biggest cog in the back and the spokes and that little area. So super cool, super neat. Yeah, just thought I'd point that out. folks. So just right here, yeah, go ahead and get yourself one of these if you're going to be dealing with old school bikes or bikes, that have these pins, because removing this is like a dream when you have the right tools, like a pin spanner. I used to put 2 nails and like put something in between to twist them off and everything, but these things just remove them like crazy, and the other side had it. So yeah, so to remove these things, go ahead and get yourself the Park Tool SPA2. Amazing tool. actually works. There is some slight surface rust on here, and I could remove it with wire wool, but I really hate scratching up paint, then going through sandpaper and then buffing it out. I just feel like a really nice car polish will do the trick, and I don't want to remove paint. That's the last thing I want to do. So I want to just buff things out, get things going to a natural patina, or to a really shiny patina, if that makes sense. I don't know. Anyways, cool. I don't know if I can capture that, but there's a huge before and after, like right here to see this side. It's pretty noticeable. So I'll go ahead and continue on. Here's another angle of that close-up. So you can see here it's way shinier than this side. It's kind of hard to focus, but yeah. So I'll go ahead and continue that process. Alrighty, so after some polishing, I know they still don't look the best, but you could definitely see a shine coming through. It looks a lot better in person. This light kind of amplifies the little pits and all the stains. As you can see here, even some of the rust got removed from the tire rubs. Yeah, I kind of went over it really quick on the whole bike. As you can see there's like a pretty good shine. There's still clear coat missing in certain areas. That's fine. I'm not looking for perfection on this bike because it is. I forgot to mention this is serial number 1. I'll go ahead and show that serial number at the bottom. This is what makes this bike super special. I'm gonna try to keep this as original as possible. So I'm gonna try to go over this with a little bit of polish with the rear mech, the front derailleur as well. As you can see here, there's a really nice shine going. Love seeing that carbon sparkle. I do have a specialized bar, but I don't know if I want to do that. This bike came to me like this, but I really don't want to leave this freaking stem there. I think it looks gross, I'm sorry to say, for you Zoom lovers. But yeah, no, I'm just super excited for this build, and let's continue on. Alright, another one of my hacks or tips or tricks is I grab some simple greens and I throw that in there, and I kind of these bearings are pretty dry, so I'm not afraid to get some degreaser in there, and I diluted this a lot just to have enough degreaser to go around. But yeah, as you can see, there's like globs of dirt. This spins really well, so I'm inclined to save the free hub body, but I still need a degreaser to get to some of that gunk, so I'll let you know how that goes. Alright, so made some good progress. Simple greens for the win. Did put a little shine back into the wheels. There's still a lot of dust and dirt, but as you can see there, the rear cog came out really nice. Spins really good, so I might just inject fresh grease in both of the hubs, because the Shimano had, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, yeah, the little hole port right there to pour grease in there, or to have like a grease gun to squirt grease in there, so you don't have to remove the whole thing. But yeah. Alright, so giving an update, bottom bracket on the Specialized Epic. As you can see, the frame's actually coming together. It's looking really shiny, really good. As you can see here, a lot of the rust spots, I've been putting like wiping it down for the past couple days with like 3-in-1, and then cleaning off that chemical from the carbon. So a lot of the rust is starting to turn black. So that means, I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of hard to see, but a lot of the fresh rust is starting to turn black. So it's halting the rust on the lugs. I kind of, I'm not really admitting defeat, as more opposed to just leaving the bottom bracket as is, because here's why. I don't want to crank on this bottom bracket. It being such a rare bike, I'll let the future owner know about that, and that's what I always do. If there's something that's quote unquote stuck or not going my way, I'll always tell the future owner, and that's one way my business, just my hobby, I guess, it's turned into something else. We'll see where it goes. Yeah, that's what I love to tell people. I'm like, hey, there's this bike, there's this issue, there's that issue, if I can't fix it. And I let them know too ahead of time. I'm like, hey, if you do have issues with it, let me know. What I really think I should do, or what I could do, is get a press the old bottom bracket out of there. So have this on a flat surface and get a press and press on the top, because it won't be pressing on the frame per se, just on the shell. I don't have a press I don't own a press, so that's why I don't want to do that. I don't want to hammer it on it either, mess with the bearings, because the bearings do run decently. I'm not going to say that they don't. So I just like to take stuff apart and know for firsthand that it works. But I know that the bottom bracket does spin, and it spins decently. So I'll let the future owner know. Like I said, I don't want to mess with it just because of the pedigree. I don't think the next owner is going to be someone that rides it and thrashes it, because it is serial number 1. At the end of the video, I'll go ahead and show a picture of the serial number. So that's why I just want to leave it. If it were my bike, or it is my bike, but if it were a bike I'm gonna keep and ride, like a lot of my other bikes, yes, I figure stuff out. But if it's something like this that might be on a wall hanger, then no, I don't want to do that. Just because I don't want to crack it. I do want someone to have the ability to, ride it and enjoy it. So yeah. Alrighty, so what I am gonna do is, there's a small seal. I'm gonna clean this off first, this surface. So put some WD-40 up in there. I'm gonna wipe this off. These little bristle brushes are amazing. You'll see why I'm doing this in a minute. Like I said, this bottom bracket runs pretty good, so I'm not too worried about it at all. And I'm gonna sound like a broken record. I'm gonna sound like a broken record, when I talk about this bike being serial number 1, but I think it's very important to realize that this is an important piece of early 90s mountain biking history. I got it for a great deal. Again, I don't mention how much I buy my bikes, just because I don't think it's that important. I just think the education, letting you know how this stuff works, is very important. All right, so once it's all clean in there, right, or decently clean, what I'm gonna do is, I have Philwood's grease, and I have a cool little pick from Park Tools. I love these things. Please get them. Clean off the pick. What I am gonna do is, I'm gonna lift the seal carefully. See, look, I'm getting one side of it first. I'm going around, and I'm actually cleaning off like the dirt and grime that's in there. But what I am gonna do is, I'm gonna toss some Philwood in that seal. So my pick, I don't know if the camera can catch it, but see right there, I'm not stabbing the seal. I'm going around, and I'm actually going to use gravity to help me out.
Because what Fillwood is, they call it tenacious oil, and I could actually feel the bearings. Well, I think I can feel the bearings. I don't know. But what I wanted to do is I want to protect that spindle as much as possible in there, in order to keep using this bottom bracket, right? And for it to protect the bottom bracket for the future owner. And again, I'm not stabbing the seal at all. I'm not poking holes in it. I'm using the little edge that's given on the side of it. Right? I'm going to the side and I'm lifting up. And I can see little air bubbles come from the top. You can see the camera can't catch it, but that's what I'm doing. Because I want Fillwood to get in there and do its thing. It's a super good grease to throw on stuff like this. Feels a little bit better, but I mostly just want it to go inside, or somewhat catch the side of the bearing. So again, I don't poke a hole in the seal, I just lift it up. And I lift up the side. So I'm going all the way around. And then give it a little spin. I just want to work that grease inside of the bearing, just so if it does get ridden on that bottom bracket, it has good protection. And like I said, I tried not to crank as much as I could on this, and I don't want to put this frame in a vise. What I want to do is just kind of leave it as is, because again, serial number one, I don't want to destroy this bottom bracket. I really don't. There's no replacement for these. I don't think anyone I talk to will want to touch this. Any welder or anybody. Seals kind of got out of place, so I'll just go ahead and push it down. Remember, not poking holes in the seal. Just going to the side, carefully lifting. Going to the side, carefully lifting. There you go. Okay. The seal down there is protected now because it does spin good. Fillwood grease is awesome grease for bearings and for seals and just for general bike stuff. So get yourself some, it'll save you in the long run. But yeah, I went ahead and sealed up this other side of the bottom bracket. I did leave some 3-in-1 in there, just a very light coat. I did drain it, so I left it on its side like this, or with a little angle, so nothing gets stuck in the carbon tubes, because I don't want that. This is a steel lug. So what that means is that if 3-in-1 touches it, it's just gonna give it a nice coating on the inside. I could throw some frame saver in there, but I want to throw something a little meatier. 3-in-1, I believe, is that meatier oil that like gives it that really good coating that you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, so it spins really smooth. So, or not really smooth, but smooth. It's still stiff, so it still has some original grease. Yeah, the owner that I got this from said that he got it from a gentleman that bought it brand new back in the 90s, and it just wasn't stored in a weather space. I did get it from the central coast of California, so oxidation is a big thing out there. But yeah, so hopefully you guys kind of saw the process of like kind of preserving a good spinning bottom bracket with the stuck cone. Like I said, I could eventually press this out because this is just a cup, and just leave this stuck cup on there, and then so someone could still have a really good functioning bike. But yeah, that's as far as I'm gonna go, just because I really want to save the pedigree of this. So thanks. Alrighty, just wanted to highlight something. One way you could tell that a bike has not been used that much is by its chain rings. So even this is just a stain. See, look, these chain rings are in immaculate condition. Like, look there's still paint on some of these chain ring teeth. So that I'm showing this because just letting you know that this bike still functions really good. A lot of the cables were not rusted through. All I did was literally just take a light brush and some quick WD-40 just to give it a quick little wipe down. Look at this. Amazing. The teeth, the inner chain ring, the in-between one right here, the 36 tooth. Look, it still has paint on, like original manufacturer paint on the freaking teeth. Like, that's insane to me, because I get a lot of these like super high quality bikes, and yeah, like they're kind of showroom, like my Otis guy over there, it came in really pristine, but all the teeth, you know, it looks like it had been ridden. This has not been ridden. Look at the back. So these things are famous to see these scratches or these scars, they'll scar up and get rid of all this paint on the top by the teeth, right? Nope, not this one. And yes, it's still dirty in between. I'm gonna wipe it off. But whatever grease that they used, man, this thing did a solid on this bike. And I don't want to push too far back on the sticker right here. So I don't want to push it, because look at the sticker. It's, here, I don't know if the camera can even catch that. But it's insanely good condition. Like, it's still reflective. So just wanted to show y'all. This thing was hardly ridden. And see, look at the chain, look at the bottom bracket spin. Spins extremely well. So yeah, just going to show y'all. Thank you. All right, just wanted to show how it's turning out. Really nice patina or matte finish on the back. Yeah, started getting some of the in-betweens. But yeah, geez, it's turning out really great. And again, if I can get this, see that spin on a freaking dime. So will not be changing out that bottom bracket. Alright, just wanted to record how clean the headset race turned out. Put new grease, slapping these on here. Actually, I think they go opposite. It's this. Top part spins. All-purpose grease on the top right here. Kind of paste it around. I don't put a lot, you know, because I feel like the more folks put on there, the more it like globs up in the future, you know, like I feel like it has a negative effect. There you go. Got to line up the seals at the bottom. This guy on top. yeah, the bearings run smooth. The bottom one is a little brown for concern, but the bearings still spin really smooth. I looked at the bearings; they're all in good shape. Usually, when you do a job like this, and if you notice here, I'm just, as long as it doesn't wiggle. Oh yeah, much smoother. Hey, as long as the grease works in there, it's fine. Replacement bearings would be probably the best on this, but like I said, this being so rare with the pedigree and all that, I just don't want to replace all that. I kind of want to put it back as is, as I found it. But the ability to ride it, the ability to present this, go to a coffee ride for the future owner of this bike. I want to just clean up all the in-betweens. See, so you can see some stuff coming out. There you go. Clean up the top. And I'm just gonna do it hand tight. And see, I kind of made sure I showed that because as you can see here, there's two hit marks. I didn't do those. There's dark rust in there, indicating it's been there for a while. But it looks like the future owner, or the previous owner, sorry, had done what I just did. Kind of spun it and then it hit right there. But anyways, she's starting to come together. Looking a lot better than when I found her. Yeah, this Dior XT headset's really great shape. But yeah, it just wasn't stored correctly. Here again, I keep emphasizing the bottom bracket. That's why I didn't move it. Spins super well, and it's not like too crazy. You can't hear bearings or anything. It's just smooth. So yeah, it's coming together. All right, so another day. I managed to find, maybe the camera can see it, a specialized seat post clamp. I think this is definitely for a later year, but it definitely beats having a GT seat post clamp. It's taking this stuff. It's pretty easy. Actually, never encountered that where this unscrews before. Okay, well, take the whole thing off, I guess. Super interesting. Okay. Yeah, this one's pretty simple. It just clamps forward. I think it's gonna look a lot better. And obviously you can see a different seat post on there. I just happen to have a 27.0. I was gonna buy an XT seat post the way it's supposed to come, but at the same time it's like, I like to make sure that things are kind of neutral on it. Like I try to use what I have. There you go. Instead of saying neutral, but I try to use what I have in order to make things work. And honestly, I think it does. It goes on the other side. So, like mistake. Usually you want to have your clamps facing the non-drop side. So it's okay. Switch this over. And this is kind of ambidextrous in the sense of both sides are exactly the same. Yeah, this is a regular, this is a really basic generic brand. I don't even know what it is, but it looks cool. So I'm gonna put some grease in there as well because it is steel. Some parts are steel on there. And yeah, just angle it up a little bit and boom, you have a better looking clamp. That's not a different brand. super sick handlebar that I brought from where I used to live for this build, and I think it's gonna go so well with this bike. So yeah, stay tuned for that. All right, going to install a stem. This one I picked up at a local bike shop. I think it's a 1995. Just a normal H&L stem. I have another Stumpjumper of this era, and that's kind of what they had. They didn't have anything like Specialized brand at the time. You could get an S-Works like chromo stem, but usually they didn't have them. This stem, honestly, it's really light, so I think it'd go really well on this bike. I'll put some grease right now. I just don't want to do that while touching the camera. I like the rise on there, so I think it's gonna look great. Oh, and as you can see, the handlebar's not going willy-nilly anymore. Oh gosh, yeah, that looks great on there. So yeah, I'll go ahead and put grease and then tighten her up. All right, so now that there's fresh grease in there, things are usually 6. Preliminary tightening of the bolt here. Oh, there's a paint chip. Anyways, yeah, not gonna do it really hard. It's right here. Usually it's the same size, or it's something a little smaller. So we'll go ahead and start tightening this sucker. There you go. Clamps just fine. The real trick is gonna be getting this cable guide on there pretty well. Camera can focus on that, but yeah, there's a cable guide that goes in between here. But I have 2 options, so I think I'm still gonna use the Zoom cable guide there. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and leave that there. I pulled these off of something of my Otis guide. They're older grips. I'm gonna put newer grips on my Otis guy, but I'm gonna toss these onto here. I'm gonna use the same Shimano XT SLR shifter brake combo. Oh wow, okay. Well, apparently these bars are a smidge wide. Oh well, I don't know. Interesting. So apparently these bars are on this side. It's a little wider. The car's a little. So I'll just go ahead and throw those on there. I'm gonna put the bar ends that I picked up off the Otis guy. They're loose there. I might not. Anyways, let's see. So this is the right hand side. I usually just push forward. Right? You guys can see that. And I usually just give little taps. I don't like to use any chemicals or anything when putting in these bars. I don't know, I just don't like to. I know a lot of people like have that hairspray trick, they have a bunch of other tricks, and it's just, not a fan of doing that. Go ahead and grab the other side. Let's see the other side. There you go. That's how it's gonna look. This is the left, there's an L on there. It's pretty nice that they labeled these back in the day. So as you can see here, you just slip on. Yeah. So what I do is I always push them outwards towards. I push the shifters and the brakes outwards towards the handle grip, so it's kind of flush. But yeah, so it looks super solid. I think it's coming together just nice. I think we're at the point to start putting some of the old brakes, cables on here. Pretty 6-seat. Yeah, it's getting there.
Alright, YouTube, so the Stumpjumper is done. It looks way better than what it did when she first came in. Yeah, spins super smooth. I'm probably gonna add grease to the hubs because there's a grease port on there. There's no need to do a deep dive. They're not, the bearings aren't loose in there. And a way you could tell is just by giving this a tiny shake, and no bearing is loose. So it was ridden well, it was maintained pretty well, but yeah, it just wasn't stored properly. So yeah, a lot of the rust has turned black. So you can see there, that's a great sign. Or the surface rust anyways, because there's no cracking, there's no peel of any kind. I might put some like rubber protectors right here to protect some of the paints. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a whirl and yeah, give some shots or some footage outside. Thank you all for watching this build. And again, super sick S-Works or specialized handlebar. I don't know if it's an S-Works one, but yeah, different seat. Couldn't go without the flight saddle. This is a later model one, so yeah, thank you. Alrighty folks, here's the bike outside and she is a stunner. Absolutely beautiful bars, stem, everything matches really well. SLR brakes, DRXT hubs. This is serial number 1 for you folks out there. And yeah, I'm super excited to ride this bike and super happy to have been part of this process. And yeah, thank you so much. Bye.